What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with a quick Dragon Ball Super update. Today we got a little bit of extra information that's been revealed to us ahead of schedule. This Friday was supposed to be the worldwide reveal of the yellow cards in Set 5, but today we've got a little peek into some of the cards for Set 5, and I know it's going to make a lot of people happy, mainly because you can actually use them with one of the very first leaders ever to come out to this game. The first spoiler is Frieza, Revenge in Motion. He's a 1-cost 2,000 power, and I swear when I saw this card, I was so happy we were getting Trunks support, only to realize it's just Frieza support, showing when Trunks completely kicked his ass and murdered him. Its activate main says, place this card in your drop area, draw one card, then choose up to one Frieza card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your deck, and place it in your drop area. Now, that seems kind of like a weird, wonky ability. Like, why are you wanting to place cards in your drop area? I promise you, there is a reason for it, and it's really disgusting. And this card alone really kind of worries me a little bit for some of the older Set 1 Frieza cards that we had. A lot of them are 4-drops. So a lot of them can be played, so a lot of them can be placed in your drop area via this card, and a lot of them can be used in combo with another card that we're about to reveal to you here in just a minute. And the ones that terrify me the most are going to be the two Mecha Friezas, the 4-drop Mecha Frieza from Set 1, and the Mecha Frieza promo card that everybody was using with the Golden Frieza leader. As you can see, this card is a Frieza's Army card, as are the rest of the yellow cards that we're about to reveal to you in this video. So they can be used in tandem with the original Set 1 Golden Frieza leader as well. It's really, really irritating how they can be used in tandem like that, but I'm hoping that it will also spark a lot of creativity, a lot of cool builds that people will come up with, so that the meta will continue to stay as diverse as it has become now that SS3 is temporarily banned. Up next, we have Dragon Ball Seeker Sorbet, and again, they seem to either not know, or they seem to not care that they have kind of retconned Sorbet's name. At least the spelling of his name, as this one still does not have a T at the end of it, just like the front of the Frieza leader that we revealed to you before, and even in his character name at the bottom of the card, the T is missing as well. Hopefully they'll correct that. If not, then it'll just have to be like this weird errata where it's just understood that they're the same character. He's a 1-cost 5,000 power. When you play this card from your hand, choose up to one Dragon Ball card from your deck and add it to your hand. He's basically a free +1. He also helps you fuel to get the Dragon Balls in the drop area, because you can play him, you get the Dragon Ball, then you play the Dragon Ball, then you draw another card, but it's deck thinning. It's also placing cards in your drop area. So it's going to help trigger sparking abilities. It's also going to help you get those Dragon Balls out so that you can awaken the new Frieza Shenron leader. Sadly, you can't use this one with the Set 1 Golden Frieza leader. I mean, you could use him as a 1-drop to be able to KO him for Golden Frieza's ability, but since you can't use the Dragon Balls with that leader, it kind of would defeat the purpose. At least the original Sorbet 1-drop that we had can do a little bit more for you than this one could. This card, however, is a perfect card to be played with the Golden Frieza leader. It's Frieza biding his time. He's a 1-cost 5,000 power, and he is Frieza's Army. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or less, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. So it's kind of like Goldo, except he gets around barrier. And he's also another Frieza's Army card, so you can tribute him for that Frieza's ability. I think this is a really good one. I'm not really sure why Frieza, completely helpless and powerless, gets the ability to get around barrier. It just kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it is a really cool card. I'm hoping that it will spark a lot of Golden Frieza play, just because I do like seeing older leaders be able to get some support. It also gives me a lot of hope that we'll get support for the Trunks leader, or we'll get a new Trunks leader, or we'll get Goku Black and Zamasu support, or even new leaders for those. Up next, we have Military Command Frieza. He's a 2-cost 10,000 blocker. And his ability says, when this card is KO'd, choose up to one Frieza card with an energy cost of 3 from your hand and play it. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't really work with the Golden Frieza leader. He would work for being able to use it to get the untap ability. However, since that leader says place it and not KO it, you wouldn't get this card's effect. That would be ridiculously dumb if they had done such a thing. But you can drop any 3-drop Frieza, so of course we know we're going to get more Frieza support in Set 5, and we'll get to see what the rest of those cards are this Friday. But it definitely sounds like there's going to be a lot of Frieza play. Either Golden Frieza or the new Shenron Frieza. Both of them are yellow Frieza leaders. They both have access to Cold Bloodlust. Frieza is going to make a comeback, and so is Yellow. And that might even mean that Shugesh will make a comeback. If Shugesh were to make a comeback, for whatever reason that people would play Shugesh with a Frieza deck, whether it be for Gokus or for Veggies all over again, Cronoa could even make a comeback. Although I wouldn't say Cronoa would be making a comeback, as Cronoa never really saw play. Just the fear of Cronoa kind of steered people away from Shugesh, but it opens up possibilities. And Yellow is definitely going to be a strong contender in the Set 5 meta. For the last yellow card, we have Revival of the Emperor, and this card is disgusting. This is going to be our yellow Desire card. When your leader card is a yellow Shenron, choose one Frieza card in your drop area with an energy cost of 4 or less and play it. So, firstly, you remember that Frieza that we showed you at the beginning of the video, where you place one 4 or less from your deck to your drop area. Here is why that is so dumb. Not only does this give you a 4-drop for 2 energy, this also gives you 2 4-drops for 2 energy. So you remember how all of the Wish leaders have that skill where you can choose one of the 3, and one of them is to use the ability of a Desire card in your hand. So, you would use that ability as your leader's ability using this card. You bring out 4-drop Frieza, specifically the 4-drop Promo Mecha Frieza. Look at your opponent's hand. Force one of their cards to the board. Then you actually play the card with 2 energy. You already know what's in their hand, so you already know what you're going to take this time, and you slap another card down. That is disgusting. It gives you two attackers, 2 good attackers on the board. And then you can just rip your opponent's hand apart with that card. Or you could even take the Mecha Frieza from Set 1 that gets dual attack and double strike and KOs 2 cards in rest mode. This card is evil. I do not like it. We are going to see so much Yellow and Frieza coming back, and Bloodlust, which Bloodlust you can play around, but it's so not the point. Nimbus is going to be even just as bad as it ever was, or we might even get a better Yellow negate, as we've already seen what the black, red, and we're about to go over what the blue one does as well. So, this game is just going to get so wild. I am looking forward to seeing what we can do with it, though, and who knows. This new support is actually making me want to build a Frieza deck, and I've never wanted to build a Frieza deck. Cooler, perhaps, but never Frieza. Then, we got a few spoilers for Blue. One of them is the leader that so many people are looking forward to. It's the movie villain, Janemba. And here we can see that his ability is just an auto draw 1 card when he attacks at burst 2, so you'd have to mill the top 2 cards of your deck, and then when he awakens, you switch 2 of your energy back to active mode, but that's not even the tip of what this card does. Awakened, he is Supreme Evil Janemba, and this is the side that makes the card good. He's got Sparking 5, so if you have 5 cards in your drop area, when he attacks, you draw a card, he gains 5,000 power and critical. So, 20,000 crit, that's not bad, especially if you go ahead and you combine it with the Monaka extra card from Set 1 to give him double strike as well. That's just gross. His activate main says, choose 1 card in your hand and place it in your drop area. During this turn, when your opponent activates counterplay, they choose 3 cards from their hand and place them in the drop area. This right here is such a good counter to Bloodlust, to Crusher Ball, and those are really the only 2 relevant ones I can think of off the top of my head. But those are the ones that, when I think of counterplay, those are the ones that come to mind. And with Frieza coming back with all this new support and both the new leader and the old Golden Frieza leader, we're going to see a lot more Bloodlust. Crusher Ball, maybe not so much. I think Crusher Ball is a good card, but I see a lot of people that run yellow don't play it. But either way, this is going to make them basically neg 4 to negate your ability. They're going to use 4 cards, the Bloodlust plus the 3 cards they discard, just to negate one of your skills. Janemba is the deterrent against Frieza and Bloodlust, and I love it. His ability is pretty useless against other decks, but still, having that kind of fear for anyone that does run that, having a decent counter, a decent way to gain an upper hand even if they do decide to Bloodlust you, is just too good. And even by himself, just against other leaders, 20,000 crit, or even double strike if they play Monaka, that's pretty damn good on its own, especially just for a leader card. For this last card, we are already seeing a lot of debate all across the internet over it. It is Dimension Magic. It is a 1-cost blue negate that says if your leader card is blue, which looking at the card you would think it's going to specify Janemba, but it doesn't, just a blue leader. Negate this attack, then choose up to 2 of your blue energy and switch them to active mode. Whoa, hold up. So it's a better Whis' Coercion for any blue leader. That right there is gross. Secondly, its permanent has Sparking 5, just like the other negates that we showed you so far in this set in black and red, how they're very similar to the yellow and green that we got with set 4. You can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So, you get a free negate, 2 energy back on your turn, and a card in your hand from your life. Not to mention, if you were not awakened, bam, awakened. And if you're a draw leader, 2 more cards. If you're an untap leader, 2 more energy. Right there, you got 4 energy to defend yourself with. The card is good. The card is good. Is it super broken? Not really. Should it be limited to Janemba? Absolutely. It should be limited in some way. Just because, like, the yellow instant transmission was limited to Goku's lineage. The green sacrifice was limited to Namekian. This is limited to any blue leader. Now, I understand the negates that we got in set 4 are only limited to their color as well, and red has a good one, which gives you basically a 50,000 boost for that attack. But it doesn't negate the attack, and it doesn't give you back energy or anything. So, unless you're using it to KO a 10k battle card, it's nowhere near as good as this Dimension Magic. Do I want them to errata it? Yeah, sure, because I don't want it to get out of hand. Do I think they will? Oh, no, of course, probably not. Is it necessary for the game to remain healthy? I want to say yes, but it may not be super broken. Because we do have Zeno button, which sort of does the same thing, but Zeno doesn't negate the attack. Zeno also can't get you a card to replace it, and it can't help you awaken. So, I don't know. It's definitely one of the more interesting cards, and these cards, all of them, make me so super excited just to see yellow this Friday, and then blue and green, and the super rares. Like, set 5 is going to be something amazing. World Tournament is already flipping the meta over on its head after everybody trash talked it, and it got worse trash talk than the Tournament of Power did. And we're already seeing that the leaders are popping up at store championships, at case tournaments, even regionals. And some of these cards are really good, and people did not give them a lot of credit for it. So I'm expecting an even better turnout from all these cards for set 5. But anyway, that's going to do it for the little bit of spoiler information we got for you guys. I know it wasn't a whole lot. I tried to keep the video short. It got a little out of hand just because we were kind of got a little excited to talk about different stuff and like how the Frieza support is going to be good for a set 1 leader. The Janemba support is also going to be, the blue negate and the Janemba leaders and how they're going to interact with the meta. I think it's really all fascinating, but I really think that a lot of people that like the Golden Frieza leader are going to love this set so much they may not even try the Shenron leader, because out of all of these cards, the only one that needed a Shenron leader was the Sorbet. Now, obviously, you can't play the extra card, so there will be no reviving the Emperor from your drop area if you're playing Golden Frieza, and I think that card alone, and the things you can do with it, like I suggested earlier with the Mecha Frieza combos, I think that alone will make people really want to play with the Shenron Frieza leader. That and the fact that the Dragon Balls get you free draws, they get you a deck thinning, and they can Bloodlust. So I think there's going to be just a lot of interesting builds with all this new yellow support. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button down below for us. We appreciate the support. We try to get you guys out all of these leaks and spoilers as fast as we can, as soon as we know about it. They're not always announced ahead of time like the weekly Friday spoilers, but either way, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about some of these cards, if you're excited for yellow or blue, and let me know what you think about the possibility of running this stuff with the Golden Frieza leader. Whether you think that would be better than running the Shenron leader, because you can get the untap, but like I said with the Shenron leader, that extra card, you can just do so many gross things with it. And I think that is going to be one of the determining factors as well. But we're going to go ahead and get the freak out of here now, and we'll see you guys in another video.